Hi everyone, this is Nicole with Logisoft, coming at you with another Adobe training video. This one is really going to be an overview. So I'm calling this one New Purchase Overview for Creative Cloud and Acrobat. What I want to do in this video is just really walk you through the steps that you need to complete when you make a new Adobe purchase of either Creative Cloud or Acrobat. Now, if you have Adobe Sign, if that's what your new purchase is, this is not the video for you. Make sure you check out the one specific to Sign. This one is going to walk you through everything you need to do, the boxes to check to get up and running with a new Adobe purchase. So, diving in, number one is, can you get into the admin console? Now, to get into the Adobe admin console, someone was added with the new contract or VIP agreement, and you need to log in to the Adobe console with a personal profile. You may be used to logging in with a school account, or maybe you've never logged into Adobe at all. If you see more than one option when you're logging in, when you're actually entering your username and password, make sure you watch my profile picker video. I've got the link to that in the comments, but that will walk you through when to choose the school profile and when to choose personal. Now, if you do log in and maybe you're not seeing what you're supposed to, it could be that you have more than one console, in which case you would have to toggle between the various consoles that you have. And again, there's a video for that as well, because there's more details here, but it may take you to the wrong one initially, so make sure you check out that video. Now, once you're in the console, you want to make sure that you're very comfortable in here. If you're not familiar with an Adobe admin console, be sure to watch that overview video that I've created. It walks you through the overview page, the different tabs across the top, things like the Buy More button, etc. Once you're done watching that video, make sure you also add an additional administrator. Whenever we create a new Adobe console or agreement, we can only add one admin, but we really recommend that you have at least two. So in order to understand how to add additional admins and what kinds you can add, check out that video on the YouTube channel or in the comments below. Now, at the end of the day, there are two main steps that must be completed with every new Adobe purchase. In order to actually make the product that you just bought work, there's two things you have to do. Step one is installing the software onto a computer. And the second step is to grant users access or assign those users to that actual product that you purchased. So to dive in more on those, for named user licenses, which is the majority of the purchases we see, you need to decide how you're going to manage your users. Now, this can be done by setting up single sign-on in the console under the Settings tab. And by doing this, you claim your domain and connect the Adobe console to Google or the Azure identity provider. We always recommend doing this, especially if you have students using the product you purchased, because of COPPA and FERPA compliance. Single sign-on is the most secure option for protecting your students. When you set up single sign-on, you will gain the ability to also set up user sync, which allows the users from that Google or Azure console to come and live in the Adobe console. So it's feeding the two consoles back and forth. They're talking to each other. And this bypasses that need to manually upload or add and assign users to this tab in the console. Now, there is a link in the comments on how to do that single sign-on setup and a video coming. So if you're going to set up single sign-on and user sync, I do recommend doing this step first. It takes a little bit of time for the two consoles to talk to each other. And once the users are in your console, it's much easier to assign them to the product in question using OUs, groups, or by enabling auto provisioning. Now, if you're not going to use single sign-on, which is okay if you're just using the product for faculty and staff, you can assign products one license at a time by following the video in the comments on assigning an Adobe license. You can do that one at a time, or you can upload a CSV file at any time to add a larger batch of students. Now, if you happen to have purchased shared device licenses, the same steps apply as far as setting up single sign-on and user sync. The difference is that for shared device licenses, you don't have to assign the entitlement to the student, so there's one less step for those purchases. Now that's talking about users, right? We said there's two parts, assigning the users. Part two is installing the software. That's where the Packages tab comes in. So for installation of the software, follow the steps in my package creation video. It walks you through everything that happens after you click this blue Create a Package button. And make sure you adhere to the best practices that I cover regarding education and managed packages, because maintaining control for the IT department is key when it comes to package building. So those are your steps. It's getting in the console, getting familiar, adding an additional administrator, set up your single sign-on on the Settings tab, enable user sync, then you provision or assign the product to user or users, and create and download a package to be installed on the computers in question. That is how you get up and running with your Adobe purchase, but know that I am here for any questions that you may have along the way.